This is my 3-year review of all Elite Wrestling in 3 minutes. Starting off with the things I like about AEW. First pro I have is how different it feels from WWE. And I know the first thing you're going to say is, oh, but they signed all these former WWE guys. That's not what I mean. When you watch AEW Dynamite, it does not feel the same as if you're watching Monday Night Raw. The show production is different, the show direction is different, the matches feel different, most of the wrestlers are different, the styles are different, the promos feel more raw and different. It feels like a true alternative. My next pro is the match quality. Though Raw and SmackDown are now having better matches than they did in the past with Triple H in charge, AEW Dynamite consistently has at least one good to great match every single week. I can name 10 bangers I've seen on AEW Dynamite for free on television in the last 10 years. Can't do the same for WWE, honestly. My next pro is the diverse wrestling styles we see. In the early stages of AEW, a lot of complaints about there being a lot of smaller guys, a lot of high flyers, which was an accurate criticism at the time. But it changed up in 2022. You want big guys, you got Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, Samoa Joe, just to name a few. You want high flyers, they got Darby, Sammy, the Lucha Brothers, just to name a few. You want technicians, they got Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia. You want showmen and theatrics, you got Chris Jericho and MJF. AEW offers a little bit of everything and I love that. Next pro is they tell some really captivating stories. Bob Moxley vs Eddie Kingston, CM Punk vs MJF, Hangman Page and Kenny Omega. Long term with great outcome. While every single story is not a hit, most of them do. And the last pro is fan service. Even though the fans don't always get what they want, and they shouldn't sometimes, I feel like ultimately AEW is really good at sending fans home happy. Now into the cons. First con is production. Been 3 years and I feel like we're still really badly timing things. From Excalibur rushing announcements at the end of the show, celebrations being cut short because they ran out of time, odd gaps in between promos and matches. Really gotta figure that out, it's been too long. My next con is the women's division. It's been 3 years and Tony Khan does not care. If main event it may be a handful of shows, they're designated to the dead 9:30 slot, and there's never been a point in time where they feel just as important as the men. At this point, Tony Khan should give that division over to somebody else to handle, because either he doesn't know how or he doesn't want to, and I think it's the latter half. Third con is the overbloated roster. AEW has like 4 shows and somehow they can't feature all the talent they have because they signed so many. You can go weeks or months without seeing your favorite wrestler on TV, and as a fan, it's frustrating to see that. This is a hole Tony Khan put himself in, sadly. There's only 2 ways out of that hole, and I'll let you guys figure that out. The last con is only having one digestible program. You have AEW Dynamite, Rampage Dark, and Dark Elevation. Dynamite's the only one that people seem to care about. Put little to no effort into Rampage unless it's live, and because AEW Dark is full of squash matches, there's little to no incentive to watch those shows. And on top of that, Ring of Honor doesn't have a TV deal still, so you're still not using the ROH roster to its fullest potential. Ultimately, I'm going to give AEW a B-. While I still love AEW and watch the show weekly, the cracks are starting to show, and I will hope to see some improvements soon. Otherwise, year 4 would be lower than B-. However, I would still recommend AEW to non-wrestling fans and first-time viewers. What would you guys rate AEW?